Scott Barino, and thank you for viewing my final project presentation for ITN 170. In this presentation, I hope to provide a better understanding of firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and intrusion prevention systems, and how they fit into the overall information security framework. So my presentation is entitled Firewalls, Intrusion Detection Systems, and Intrusion Prevention Systems, what they are, what they do, how they do it, and their role in information security. First up is a firewall. A firewall, in the simplest terms, filters and blocks network traffic according to programmed rules. A firewall does this through filtering traffic using IP addresses or port numbers. A firewall does not analyze network traffic. It looks at source destination IP addresses and port numbers and performs according to the rules that were set by the developer, network administrator, or the user. A firewall should be the first line of defense in protecting a network. As such, it should be first in line and sit between the gateway and an internal network. An important note is that there are hardware firewalls and software firewalls. Aside from one being a physical device and one being software, a hardware firewall filters traffic before it reaches a client. A software firewall, on the other hand, filters traffic that has already reached a client but that has not been accessed by the user. Hardware firewalls have their own internal storage to store configurations and traffic information. Software firewalls utilize the memory resources of the client that it is installed on. Since the software firewall resides on the client, it is really a second line of defense behind a hardware firewall. When a firewall identifies traffic that does not meet the assigned rules, it blocks the traffic from going any further, thus protecting the network and its devices. Many routers available today have a firewall built in, which is an integrated firewall. The next type of system is an intrusion detection system. Like a firewall, an intrusion detection system, or an IDS, can be either a piece of hardware or software. An IDS is a passive tool to use in the overall information security architecture. There are two types of IDS systems. Let me actually correct that. There's actually three. One is a signature-based system. Another is an anomaly-based system, or there's a hybrid that combines a signature-based system and an anomaly-based system. The signature-based IDS monitors network traffic and compares the traffic against the database of known threats. If a threat is found, a notification is issued. An anomaly IDS creates a baseline of traffic activity that is classified as normal. Then if traffic deviates from that baseline, a notification is issued. For either type of IDS, it then takes a person to decide what actions to take to protect the system next. An IDS does not act, it only monitors and alerts. It may seem logical to bypass an IDS in favor of an IPS. However, if system availability is a paramount goal of an organization, an IDS may make more sense because rather than having the traffic automatically stop, as happens with an IPS, a security professional is alerted and could analyze the traffic while keeping the system up and make the appropriate decision, in some cases preserving system availability. One important note is that it is imperative that threat signatures are updated on a regular basis. By its nature, signature-based threat detection has a lag as it takes time for new threats to be added to the database. The next component that I am discussing is an intrusion prevention system, or IPS. Like an IDS, an IPS is another type of network security technology that is used between the internet and a local network. The differentiating factor of an IPS from an IDS is that an IPS not only identifies a threat, but acts to stop that threat at the time of detection. An IPS is active and an IDS is passive. In researching this project, a great analogy that I came across is this. If a network is a sporting event, then an IPS is like the security personnel at the gate. The security person inspects and analyzes everyone, which could be considered the traffic, coming into the venue. If the security person spots a threat, they stop the threat at the gate before it gets in. Meanwhile, the IDS would be equivalent to a security camera at the entrance of the venue. A threat can be spotted, but on its own, the security camera cannot stop the threat from entering. A person must monitor the camera and then act, which is how an IDS operates. Similar to the IDS, an IPS can either be signature-based, an anomaly-based system, or both in a hybrid system. If an IDS and IPS is not possible on a network, an IPS would make more sense where an attack could compromise sensitive data, such as a network with a highly sensitive and large database. The last component that I am discussing today is a next-generation firewall. Unlike a traditional firewall, next-generation firewalls offer more robust protection. Next-generation firewalls combine the traditional services of the traditional firewall, such as packet filtering, network address translation, and port address translation, URL blocking, and VPN networks. But then it also combines quality of service functionality and other features not found in traditional firewalls. These include intrusion prevention systems, SSL and SSH inspection, deep packet inspection, and reputation-based malware detection, as well as application awareness. So it's able to learn from the traffic coming in and out, and there's usually of some of these components that can be incorporated into a network to help increase